So close to the goal, headed to light, now it's time to gather what's lost. Show me how stars fall down as tears shine bright. Wherever you go, that I'll be your side, so that we can see through the night. I'll keep through our time.
Shift Up, a Korean mobile game developer, has made a stunning entrance into the console market with their AAA debut, Stellar Blade. Originally called Project Eve, this title not only boasts impressive graphics, but also delivers stellar gameplay. This game initially piqued my interest, but I wasn't set on buying it. However, everything changed after I tried the demo they released on the PlayStation Store. A practice I'd love to see more often. The demo sold me so much that I instantly pre-ordered the game right after completing it and defeating the rail yard boss. Today, I'm going to be going over my thoughts after beating this game a couple of times, with over 75 hours at the time of writing this. This game does a great job of showing what the PS5 hardware is capable of and is visually stunning to look at. While I did enjoy my time with Rise of the Ronin, I couldn't help but notice the stark difference between the two. For me personally, graphics isn't everything. However, visually pleasing aesthetics certainly help enhance the experience. You have the option to choose whether or not you want to play this game in performance or quality mode. I play this entirely on performance mode, since especially in games like these where timing is key to parrying and dodging your enemies. During my whole playthrough, not once did I ever experience any noticeable frame drops or game crashing. The only glitch I experienced was that the previous fish I caught would float in the air, but outside of it, it was perfectly fine otherwise. The animations are both crisp and smooth, adding to the overall quality of the experience. Even the detail on Eve's character and model looks great visually, which I too can appreciate and isn't just for the male gaze. Look, the last few years we have been absolutely spoiled with the amount of games that have dropped, and if my wallet hasn't recovered, yours probably haven't either. So who doesn't love saving money on games? Instant Gaming got you covered with their great discounts and a wide selections of games to choose from. From Space Marine 2, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, Metaphor ReFantazio, to Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Life is Strange Double Exposure, and even upcoming releases to choose from. There's plenty of selection here. Whether it's game, PlayStation Plus, or Game Pass subscriptions you can buy, all of it is safely backed up by Trustpilot review scores from customers and with their 24/7 customer support to help you with any issues you may experience. Best of all, not only are you saving money, but the games are straight from the source. Instant Gaming will have you covered. So if you want to save money on video games and of course support the channel as well, use my affiliate link on screen or click the link below in the pinned comment. Big thanks to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Now back to it. The game and the world itself is beautiful to look at as you traverse through the different regions. Each environment tells a story, from the ruins of the old city to the desolate desert as you journey to reclaim the planet. I wish there was more variety in the big open sections. The two largest ones are both desert, and by the time I was about halfway or close to late game, I was sick of seeing the sand. I would much prefer entirely different locations, but this is just a personal preference that I have, but at the very least to have one that is different from the other, more variety. While story is present in this game, it's certainly not the star of the show here, at least to me, as more so to get you from point A to point B. In Stellar Blade, Earth is no longer the home we knew. Ravaged by alien invaders known as the Naytiba, humanity is on the brink of extinction, clinging to life in a distant space colony. Amidst this despair, a glimmer of hope shines through Eve, a warrior with the daunting task of reclaiming Earth. This journey is as much about uncovering the mysteries of the past as it is is about fighting for a future. I felt like a lot of the characters here aren't really interesting and lack the depth I was hoping to see. You didn't really see more of their personality and character till more so towards the end of the game. For example, I wish we could have more context or further explore the relationship between Taki and Eve prior to this mission to save humanity, or implement missions that are flashbacks. Also to note, I play this game in the English dub for streaming purposes, but would recommend playing in Korean for a better experience, and could be a contributing factor on why I felt this way. I found Enya and Sue's story to be more engaging and memorable bits besides the main story, as well as this girl's side quest at the sister's junk store. I would have wished there were more side quests like those in the games to do, but you usually go here and do this. Although they didn't do anything new in terms of side quests you would see, I didn't mind running around to complete them because of how good the music is in this game. But more on that in a bit. One thing I will say that should be a standard in games moving forward is the ability to instantly return or fast travel back to the quest giver. I found that to be a really nice quality of life change I didn't realize I wanted until this game implemented it. Especially when you made a long journey to venture out to complete a quest only to not be able to return back instantly and gotta make your way all the way back on foot, which sucks. Music in this game is absolutely amazing and one of the best, with Kenichi Okabe known for his work on Nier and his studio working on 40% of the musical score for this game. While the vast majority was composed in-house at Shift Up, I love the variety of instrumental tracks to the ones with the soft female vocals in the background as you run around, whether it was in Eidos, Zion, the Wasteland, the Great Desert, the Spire, and so on. The vast majorities of the tracks in this game are pleasing to the ears, with the exception of the Oasis with the male vocals there. Just didn't do it for me personally. I remember they did release a little mini album that's on Spotify if you want to listen to it, but until then we'll have to wait until I believe it's July. Feel free to correct me on this, of when the full OST is going to be out. I'm hoping there's a physical edition to this. I would buy it in a heartbeat. I absolutely just love the music in Stellar Blade. It is phenomenal. Anyways, look, the enemies in this game are definitely grotesque, but that's what those at Shift Up was going for, which I can respect their stylistic choice here. These are unique, although I feel like the mobs could use more variety, especially in the desert, but perhaps that's just me. The bosses are just as creative too. Still, I love the boss design and fights in this game. Some of my favorite ones were the ones late game, and the music along with it was fucking hitting. The boss arena during the Katakuri with the cherry blossom and just overall visual aesthetic was among my favorite to fight in. The boss fights in this game were challenging, fun, satisfying, and the music was just absolutely banging. I cannot praise the music enough. It honestly just checks off all the right boxes for me in terms of what I want to see and experience. Now, while the narrative does take a bit of a backseat, where the game really shines is Eve's amazing outfits you can equip her with, along with the different accessories. This is the one thing Shift Up really nailed, unlike other games I've seen when it comes to the female attire, that I can really appreciate. From your sexy, more revealing ones to stylish everyday outfits. There are plenty of different outfits that you can find spread throughout the world. One's pretty well hidden to additional ones found in New Game Plus, along with recolors of previous one. One of my favorite ones is this recolor of the Kill Build inspired one, the Wasteland Explorer, and Ace from helping the little girl at the sister's junk store. Combine this with the developers adding free outfits in the latest patch, it's nothing but good news. Shift Up's forte is in fashion for their character, both here and in Nikkei. Best of all, it's free and you can earn it through simply playing the game instead of having to pay for it. Along this is the great and satisfying combat in this game, which requires precision, strategy, and understanding of your enemies. Learning their attack patterns on when you can parry, punish, or using your abilities like blink when the visual blue indicator pops up, to then countering with an attack or even more powerful abilities called betas. Eve's arsenal is vast, not from just your usual light and heavy attacks, but a gun for range combat and a plethora of skills you can unlock in the skill tree as you progress through the game. Even beyond that in New Game Plus, which was a pleasant surprise, the moves are even flashier. Each encounter is thrilling as it is deadly in this game and requires you to use a mixture of everything you learn, from parrying and dodging until you take those Naytibas down. This game isn't just all about the combat, but the different puzzles you may encounter, from the chests that have timed inputs or randomized one to platforming that you may find yourself doing in this game. I feel like I must be getting old and perhaps my reaction time is just ass, but I found the randomized chest input to be the most difficult since I can't predict what's next. I managed to open 3 on my own, but that's after more tries than it should, but you know, skill issue. These locked chests or platforming may lead to rare materials and upgrades to soda cans to collect in this game. Yes, you heard that right, you do collect soda cans in this game. The platforming in this feels heavy and hard to be precise with at times, as much as I would like to position Eve the way that I want. Unless it's alleged that you're meant to cling on or grab, Eve's character otherwise wouldn't be able to grab onto it in order to climb, which at times I found really frustrating to deal with, and even worse when jumping towards a ladder. You have to be precise or otherwise you might phase through it. Triangle, circle, X, square. Triangle, circle, X, square. Triangle, circle, X, swear.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is ahead.
Oh my god, bro! Progression in this game isn't by your character level. You gain XP from killing enemies, gathering data off of corpse, completing quests and missions. Fill up the bar at the top right and get 1 skill point every time you do, which you can then use towards the skill tree. Anything from beta skills, which are special moves you execute, to things that would help with survivability. I wasn't particularly a fan of the parrying and dodge being behind the skill tree and the double jumping behind the story progression, but I get the reasoning behind it. Outside of that, players can tailor their gameplay to their style, whether you prefer a stealth approach and or an agility or brute strength, or a glass cannon. Stellar Blade offers different gear you can equip her with, from increasing attack speed, doing more damage, melee damage reduction, increasing crit rate, or beta recovery. You get the idea. This customization extends the arsenal at Eve's disposal, ensuring that your approach to the combat and exploration is uniquely to yours. Endgame for the most part gave me some challenge, but it wasn't until towards the end of the game, at the point of no return, where I felt like things really ramped up with the last few bosses. The game launched with New Game Plus, and in addition to hard mode, you get to keep all of your data bank, skills, outfit, and all, except access to the areas and stories would reset, which was really nice. In addition to that, the beta skill tree is now further extended with additional combos to the different moves. I adore how flashy it looks, so you could replay through all of this for the other endings. In a more recent update, which was completely free, additional outfits were added to the game for you to acquire, and an added boss challenge mode. If you're curious about that, be sure to check out the video in the description as well at the end of this video. Now for things for improvement, they did a stellar job, but there were some things I would like to see further improve on. The platforming in this game isn't the greatest. Eve's character feels really heavy in the platforming sections of the games and slides around when you're trying to be precise about positioning before jumping. However, I noticed with the more recent update, there were some quality of life changes made to the game. It does feel slightly better than before. Also, the timing now on the random hacking puzzle is more generous for those with a bit slower reaction time like myself. This isn't to be confused with the one that does go in order. Before this, I was struggling to get those damn chests open. It would like take me 30 plus tries before I would manage to get just one. I felt like if I just had just 1 or 2 additional seconds, I could have gotten it. Unless the RNG was on my side with more of one directional buttons, I would then be able to get it. I would love to see more variety in the big open areas of the game instead of it being 2 deserts. I think by the time I reached the Great Desert, I was over it. I was tired of seeing sand everywhere. With how vast it was, it would have been nice for Eve to be able to use her blade to skate around the sand, since those sections with the hyper tube were fun to me, but oftentimes rather short-lived. Another one of my complaints for this game is the Taki mode. For a skill that's really cool and flashy to use, it is very underwhelming when it comes to how much damage you do. It is great for stun locking enemies otherwise though, at least. In conclusion, Stellar Blade, being an entry from a mobile game developer to console by Shift Up, has been nothing short of impressive. The game offers a visually stunning and smooth experience, leveraging the power of Unreal Engine 5 and the PS5 to deliver dazzling graphics and smooth animations. Despite some minor issues with the platforming and a somewhat repetitive world design, the overall atmosphere, engaging combat, and breathtaking score more than makes up for it. The game's story might not be its strongest suit, but it provides a solid backdrop for the thrilling journey of reclaiming Earth. With satisfying gameplay mechanics and variety of outfits and customization options for Eve, Stellar Blade has truly set a high bar for future titles from Shift Up. I highly recommend giving it a try, especially if you're into hack and slash with heavy parrying and dodging elements with the gameplay. Thank you for joining me as I shared my thoughts on this journey through Stellar Blade. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and for more gaming reviews and everything else, subscribe to the channel. Take care.